Hey Taurus, how are you today? My name is Sherilyn and I'm here to do your weekly reading. This one is going to be for Monday, June 30th through Thursday, July 3rd, right? Yeah, that's right, I think. Okay, let's see. Anyways, whoops, this one's for Taurus. We're just going to see what Spirit wants to bring up, and that's that. All right, there we go. All right, this one's for Taurus, Taurus. Let's see what you get. We are starting with the Ace of Cups, okay, followed by the Seven of Swords, and then I've got the Seven of Pentacles. Alrighty, that's your recent past or your backstory. Currently I have you Three of Cups, Knight of Swords, Ace of Swords. In the near future, I'm looking at the Tower, the World, and the Hermit. All right, bottom of the deck for this reading is actually the Ten of Pentacles. So obviously that is the undercurrent, or that's kind of like the focus, right? Overall, is you're still trying to figure out how to best build to the Ten of Pentacles, being, success, legacy, material wealth, things like that. Okay, that's what you're actually focused on. The card at the center of your read, so from almost every direction it plays into the equation, is the Knight of Swords. And I'm taking the Knight of Swords in this particular reading to mean that you are on a definite hunt for clarity. There are situations in your life right now that you feel uncertain about, or you feel uncertain of how other people are involved or what their involvement really is, and you are trying to find clarity so that you can put everything nice and neatly into boxes, right? So you know exactly what's going on and where you stand. That is what you're after. Okay, so let's see how those two play in the next week. So we start with the recent past, where I have the Ace of Cups, the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so Ace of Cups is all about a new opportunity in love, right? Doesn't mean you have to take it, but it's there. It was there in the recent past. So we have an opportunity in love, okay? Following that, I have the Seven of Swords. So this is, to me in this context, I think the Seven of Swords is speaking of a lack of trust in a situation or a person, okay? So let's assume then that this opportunity in love is coming towards you, and for some reason you're not sure if you trust it or you don't trust it, okay? The next one I have is the Seven of Pentacles. So this is talking about you trying to decide how much you want to invest in it. So I think in the recent past there was an opportunity that arose and came towards you that, looked like it had potential. However, for some reason, something inside of you, the red flags went off, right? You didn't feel like you can trust it, and then you were left to try to figure out if you wanted to invest in it at all, okay? All the while still trying to focus on getting to this Ten of Pentacles. So, all right, let's see. That's what we had in the recent past. So something came at you and you just you just weren't real sure about it, okay? All right, so then we go forward. Now we're in the current. Currently, I have you Three of Cups, Knight of Swords, and Ace of Swords. Because of the way that these fall out, so with the Three of Cups on one side, which can be a celebration, it can. It's falling out under the Ace of Cups, and it's falling out in a line with the Knight of Swords and the Ace of Swords. I feel like you have opted to not necessarily embark on this opportunity that came in from the past. If you did, I feel like you've pulled your energy back at this point. And it is because I do feel like this is a love situation where there is supposed to be two people. And I think that with the truth over here, with the Ace of Swords over here, I think you've searched for clarity, found the truth, and the truth is that there's actually three people involved in this situation. Does not mean that there are three people all romantically involved in a triangle, but there is definitely a third personality somehow in the mix when it comes to this situation. Whether that's a family member or a friend or somebody, or whether it is a significant other that was there and you weren't informed, I don't know. But there's three personalities in a situation that's supposed to have two, is how it feels. And that's what you've been trying to gain clarity on, and that's the truth that you have discovered here currently. Okay, so from there we go towards the near future. Now I have the Tower, the World, and the Hermit. The Tower is, I believe that this person more than likely presented themselves, leaving that factor out, not letting you know that, right? So there was deception at play. So you were led to believe that this could be something built on a solid foundation, and obviously it really could not. So the Tower then falls, right? With the World, this is the end of a cycle. So I believe that the cycle that you were involved in here has come to a close. And after that, I believe you pull your energy back to go into hermit mode to try to reassess what just happened. You know, what happened here? Why did this happen? What happened? What's going on? You're trying to reassess everything and trying to shed light on it and gain a better understanding of what happened and why, is what I see. Okay, what do I have behind the Ten of Pentacles? The Nine of Pentacles and then the Two of Swords. Well, if there's one thing that has come out of this, it is that you are still embarking on trying to get to your Ten of Pentacles, but you are doing it from a much more independent and self-reliant sort of a stance at this point. With the Two of Swords, I think there's still decisions that need to be made in your life. I mean, that's a daily thing, right? That's not going to stop at any time soon. But I think that you're facing those decisions independently. What else do I got here? I've got the Five of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Nine of Swords. I do see where you could actually come out of this feeling somewhat left out in the cold or abandoned by the situation. I mean, that stands to reason, right? You were misled, or I believe, or somebody was being inauthentic when they came towards you. With the Knight of Pentacles, yeah, I mean, I don't think you're rushing back out there to find somebody different. I think you're kind of stagnant right this second while you try to figure out what's going on, where you stand. And I think more than anything, you're trying to figure out why this happened so you can try to prevent it from happening again, I think. With the Nine of Swords, it's got you fairly stressed out. It does. Now I got the Ace of Wands, the Five of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. With the Ace of Wands, I feel like there is more inspiration here. If nothing else, I feel like you're trying to find inspiration to help you get to this Ten of Pentacles. With the Five of Swords, I do feel like there's conflict, and the conflict is from inside of you. And this is to do with, it has to do with like preconceived notions and religious indoctrination for some of you. It has to do with this part of you that believes that you cannot find happiness unless you have somebody else with you. That you need that to be able to get to this Ten of Pentacles. And I don't know that I believe that that's true at this point. I think that if you have that, if you make the focus that you have to have somebody else to be able to achieve the Ten of Pentacles, then I believe that it just stays right out of your reach. You know what I'm saying? What you have to focus on is healing and being a whole person on your own. And then the other comes into play. But you just can't have that be the focal point of what you get up every day and look for. Is how I see it. And so you're trying to adjust, or you need to adjust a notion that you have been totally invested in for a long time. Okay, let's see. Let's get days of the week out. I got Monday. You've got Justice in the Chariot. There is justice playing out here. That's how come you were able to find the truth and able to find the clarity you were looking for. There you go. It's coming in with the quickness. Tuesday, I have the Queen of Swords and the Hangman. You are feeling fairly cold and somewhat stuck at this point. But you're doing both of those things because you are so convinced that you cannot have what you want out of life unless you have a partner with you. There you go. Wednesday, I have the Magician and the King of Wands. You are dealing with the King of Wands for sure. And I do think in some ways you manifested this person towards you. It's because you have not bothered to heal what is broken, and therefore you are bringing somebody broken towards you. And because some of you are willing to put anybody in that spot, it doesn't matter who or what they are sometimes. It's just, there you go. Thursday, you've got the Death card and the Four of Pentacles. It's time for you to let go of that whole notion, and it's time to go into a transformation because this is not serving you. I mean, for some of you, you've been in the same situation repeatedly, over and over and over again. Something has to change. Something has to change, right? So that you can find a way to find the happiness that you deserve and that you want. That's how I see it. All right. Hi, Tiger. You're done? Okay. Okay, hi. Bye, Tiger. All right. Anyways, that's what I got this week, y'all. Hang in there. No matter what the cards say, make it a great couple days. I'll be back on Wednesday with bonus readings, and you got this. It's just sometimes you have to adjust the way that you see things or gain a new perspective. Okay? All right. Thank you.